Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Jackie. I hope you hit that subscribe button to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Hello, welcome to Thriller Reading Week. I am making these titles so hard for me to say, but I am going to read all kinds of thriller books this week. I have 3 physical books and then technically 2 on my Kindle, so they are like a series. So it's technically 1 book series on my Kindle and then 3 books. I have them next to me and we are going to read hopefully every day this week, thriller a day. Hopefully I can do that. I'm done with my current reads, so hopefully I can focus on this. So today is Monday, so we're going to go all the way to Sunday. We're not just going to go Monday through Friday. I am giving myself the whole like week to read this. So some books maybe like 1 or 2 days hopefully, but nothing more than like 3 days. I want to like get it done and over with so I can put this video out. This right here is my TBR. We are going to do a randomizer and like select the books that I read first, because honestly I don't know what to read first, so I'm so excited for that. So I have my Kindle right here, so that has like the book series on it. Then we have Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. We have The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, and then we have A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. This is also on Kindle Unlimited, so I get to tandem read it like always. So read the book during the day and then at night transfer to my Kindle, which is nice. But I also bought the top 2 books as well, so I can tandem read just in case. But on here we have The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret. So those 2, and if we really get done, I want to read the Mind F series by St. Abbey. So hopefully I can get that done. If I finish all these books in a timely manner, we'll do that. So that is my thriller book TBR for the week. Hopefully we can tackle all of it, and at the end I will be successful. So this reading vlog is going to be spoiler free. I'm not sure if I'm going to have like a spoiler portion at the end of like this vlog, so we can talk about the plot twists and stuff like that. I'm going into all of these books blind. All I know is they're thriller books, and whatever is on the back of them is the only thing I know about it. So I haven't been spoiled about any of these books, which is great. So I'm gonna stop blabbering. I am going to assign each of these a book number, and then we can go onto my phone and I'll just do a random number generator and see which one's gonna go first. So let's do that. Before I do the random number generator, let's assign these all book numbers so I can just choose that way. I wanted to do it that way instead of just picking one random one. I thought this would be funner to do it this way, so I'm making it more complicated for myself, but who cares. So I guess I'm gonna mix it up and do book number 1, book number 2, book number 3, book number 4. So I'm just gonna use the Google one, the one that when you Google random number generator, you put the minimum and then the maximum. So technically I'm only reading 4 books because we're gonna count the one as a series, and like the other book series, I am just gonna add that as a bonus read. So we have 4 main books. So The Housemaid, The Paris Apartment, Then She Was Gone, and then Flicker in the Dark. So let's just do 1 through 4 and see if that happens. So can I focus you so you can like see what's going on, or should I just screen record this? So let me screen record it. Easier so I can just pop it in there since it's not really focusing. Okay, so we have minimum is 1, and then we want 4. So ready? Oh, I don't have to show you, I'm already putting the screen recording. So generate. Book number 3 is first, then book, oh, we don't want 3 again. Generate, no, 1. So it's 3, 4, 1, and then we're just gonna do 2. So let me stop that. So now that we have it all generated, and the number sequence is book 3, book 4, book 1 and then book 2, which is crazy how that happened, but who cares. So I guess the first book we're reading in this reading vlog is Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. So I can read the synopsis on the back. No one ever just disappears. Ellie Mack was the perfect daughter, and then she was gone. 10 years after Ellie's disappearance, her mother, Laurel Mack, is trying to put her life back together when she meets an unexpectedly charming man in a cafe. Before she knows it, she's meeting Floyd's daughters, and his youngest, Poppy, takes Laurel's breath away, because the eerily precocious Poppy is the spitting image of Ellie. And now the unanswered questions she's tried so hard to put to rest begin haunting Laurel anew. When did Ellie go? Did she run away from home, as the police have long suspected, or did something more sinister happen? A haunting page-turner of sheer perfection, Then She Was Gone is a gripping and emotionally resonant tale of one mother's quest to uncover the clues she failed to recognize and finally discover the truth of what happened to her daughter. So that sounds really good. So I had no idea anything about these books. I just picked this up on a whim in Target either last year or the year before. I think it was last year, so I'm excited to read that. So I'm going to wait till it gets a little bit more darker. So it's already like 6:30 now. We're going to maybe start around 8 o'clock to make it even more like spooky. So yeah, I can't wait for that. So let's begin my Thriller Week reading vlog. Hello friends, so it's a little while later. Took off my makeup, put my hair up in a very messy bun that you can't see, but I started Then She Was Gone. So far I'm liking it. I finished part 1. I'm on part 2, but I wanted to give an update, and I have some predictions. I'm not going to tell you my predictions. I wrote them down in my reading journal, but yeah, it's really fun. I'm really engrossed into the story. So those are my thoughts so far. So it feels like they're in England, because there's like mentions of GCSEs and year 7 and stuff like that. So I think they're like in like a British setting, and it's third person point of view again, which I'm not minding anymore. Before I was like really adamant I did not like it, but I'm fine with it now, and I'm gonna update my Goodreads and then continue more. Finished Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, and I gave it 4 stars. I just finished the book and I actually really liked it. So this is my first time really diving in to thriller books, and I wouldn't say this is like the first one that I read, but I'm jumping back into this genre and it's pretty good. So I wrote a lot of notes while reading this, so I'll pop that in. I did not really guess what happened. Like probably other people could figure out if they're like used to this genre, but I think it was pretty good. I kind of like guessed something, but I wasn't really like correct. So it wasn't too predictable for me. Like it wasn't like, oh, it was that person or that whatever. But I liked it. It was really good. It jumped point of views. You got all the point of views of the characters. Well, not all of them, but like the main characters. Laurel's point of view, it wasn't in first perspective, it was on third. But there was a first person point of view in this book, so you got to see that side, and then you just followed their story, and I enjoyed it. I liked, there wasn't like a huge plot twist or anything like that, but I did enjoy reading it, and I think it deserves its rating of 4 stars. So now that I finished this one, I'm immediately gonna jump in to the Paris Apartment. The second book, which was book number 4, we are going to read The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, and it says, meet the residents of number 12 Rouge des Amts. It's been years since I took French. A beautiful old apartment building in the city of light. The socialite, the nice guy, the alcoholic, the girl on the verge, the concierge. Everyone's a neighbor, everyone's a suspect, and everyone knows something they're not telling. See you in Paris. That sounds really interesting and very similar to another book I read a long time ago. I think it was called Lock Every Door. I don't know, it sounds like it, but that's like one of the last thriller books I remember reading. So that's the second one that we're reading, book number 4. I finished The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, and I gave it 3 stars. So this is the second book that I read in thriller book reading vlog week, whatever I titled this video. And honestly, I didn't really enjoy it too much. It was a lot of rambling, like it didn't make sense sometimes. And I know some people love this, but I don't know, the characters seemed flat for me, and I was like just pushing through, and I didn't DNF it because I really wanted to know what was going on and who did it, because that's the point of these. So I tried to get my like Scooby-Doo clueness or whatever, my crime fighting skills, and solve the clues, but honestly I wasn't like really like connecting the dots too much. I don't know, it was maybe a me thing, but yeah, I don't know, just too many characters. It was in all the characters' point of view, so as I read on the back, it has like all those point of views. And the main character, Jess, like she was trying to look for her brother who went missing in the Paris apartment, and it really wasn't anything special. That's why I rated it 3 stars, but yeah, I'm glad that this wasn't like the first one I read, because I would have been like, oh, I'm not gonna enjoy Thriller Week. But overall, it was okay, so 3 stars was the rating. Then we go to book number 1, which was the third book in the order the number generator picked. So this seems really interesting. I was really excited about this one. I've seen so much hype about it on TikTok, so I'm going to read the back for you. When Chloe Davis was 12, 6 teenage girls went missing in her small Louisiana town. By the end of the summer, her own father had confessed to the crimes and was put away for life, leaving Chloe and the rest of her family to grapple with the truth and try to move forward while dealing with the aftermath. Now, 20 years later, Chloe is a psychologist in Baton Rouge, and and getting ready for her wedding. While she finally has a fragile grasp on the happiness she's worked so hard to achieve, she sometimes feels so out of control of her own life as the troubled teens who are her patients. So, when a local teenage girl goes missing, and then another, that terrifying summer comes crashing back. Is she paranoid, seeing parallels from her past that aren't actually there? Or, for the second time in her life, is Chloe about to unmask a killer? That sounds so interesting. So hopefully this would be good. I don't know the ratings that I'm going to give yet. This is just the intro, but I'm excited for this. I'm sad that it's going to be the third book, but we have that. I read A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham, and I gave it 4 stars. We're moving on to the third book that I read this week, and I'm honestly liking it. So I'm halfway through the week. This is the third book, and it redeemed itself after the Paris apartment. So I didn't really enjoy that one too much. I spent the whole evening reading that, and then I immediately had to pick up this one. So this one was pretty good. I really enjoyed it, and I love like the mystery of it. The thing is though, I kinda guessed what happened with this one. So this one was kind of predictable if I could figure it out. So the last two I didn't really could figure it out. This one I even wrote it out. I'm like, I'm going to write this down and see if I am correct. And in like my reading journal, I put it in my notes, and it turns out I was correct, but there was a little bit of a plot twist with it too. So I did enjoy the writing, the story. It was really like suspenseful. So I gave it a 4 stars because of the thing. I didn't really care that the plot was predictable. Like some people like care about that. I didn't really. I enjoyed the story, and it was pretty good. I just finished reading this on my Kindle, but I thought I would just share with you the paperback. I read it pretty much on my Kindle, but I showed you like more of the paperback to give you more of the feel, because I am going to be reading on my Kindle from now on. So we're going to start The Housemaid, so I'm excited for that. Hopefully it's just as good as this, and hopefully it's not as predictable. So read this, 4 stars. Let's move on to the 4th book. Last but not least, let's read about The Housemaid, and this one is very popular, by Frida McFadden, I think is how you say it. So I don't have the physical book to read the back of, so I'm just gonna pull it up on Goodreads on my iPad. So let's read the back cover of The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Welcome to the family, Nina Winchester says as I shake her elegant manicured hand. I smile politely, gazing around the marbled hallway. Working here is my last chance to start fresh. I can pretend to be whoever I like. I'll soon learn that the Winchesters' secrets are far more dangerous than my own. Every day I clean the Winchesters' beautiful house top to bottom. I collect their daughter from school, and I cook the delicious meal for the whole family before heading up to eat alone in my tiny roof on the top floor. I try to ignore how Nina makes a mess just to watch me clean it up, how she tells strange lies about her own daughter, and how her husband Andrew seems more broken every day. But as I look into Andrew's handsome brown eyes, so full of pain, it's hard not to imagine what it would be like to live Nina's life. The walk-in closet, the fancy car, the perfect husband. I can only try on one of Nina's pristine white dresses once, just to see what it's like. But she soon finds out, and by the time I realize my attic bedroom door only locks from the outside, it's far too late. But I reassure myself, the Winchesters don't know who I really am. They don't know what I'm capable of. An unbelievably twisty read that will have you glued to the pages late into the night. Anyone who loves the woman in the window, the wife between us, and the girl on the train won't be able to put this down. I have not read those three that they mentioned, but that sounds really interesting. I'm glad that I've never been spoiled about this book, even though I see it so many times on TikTok recommending it. So that is the fourth book that I'm reading. Finished The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, and I gave it 4 stars. Fourth thriller book that I read this week was The Housemaid, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was really fun. I loved all the twists and turns, and I loved how much I hated all the characters in this book. Like, I hated all of them, which is a good thing. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's the opposite. So what I mean by that is I hated them so much that it made me love this book, because like reading about these characters, like I just wanted to punch a wall. So when characters do that to me, that means it's like great writing, no matter what format it is, like TV shows, movies, books, anything like that. If I hate the character, they're doing a good job. So I hated Nina Winchester. She just was like, I hated it. And then the plot twist happened and I'm like, oh. And then just everything about it. I gave it a 4 stars though, because it wasn't quite a 5-star read to me. I don't know why. I finished it in a day. I wrote all kinds of notes about it and I didn't figure it out. I really didn't like piece anything together, but the way it like happened, I was so entertained. Great thriller read. No wonder everyone loves this book so much. The 5th one is the second book in the series, which is The Housemaid's Secret. So I heard that you should like read them back to back since the first one is so good. So we're going to read them back to back. So let's read the synopsis for book number 2, The Housemaid's Secret. It's hard to find an employer who doesn't ask too many questions about my past. So I thank my lucky stars that the Garricks miraculously give me a job cleaning their stunning penthouse with views across the city and preparing fancy meals in their shiny kitchen. I can work here for a while, stay quiet until I get what I want. It's almost perfect, but I still haven't met Mrs. Garrick or seen her inside the guest bedroom. I'm sure I hear her crying. I notice spots of blood around the neck of her white nightgowns when I'm doing laundry. And one day I can't help but knock on the door. When it gently swings open, what I see inside changes everything. That's when I make a promise. After all, I've done this before. I can protect Mrs. Garrett while keeping my own secrets locked up safe. Douglas Garrett has done wrong. He is going to pay. It's simply a question of how far I'm willing to go. Again, those sound amazing. Like, I'm really excited for this book series. I honestly can't tell you how, like, excited I am that I get to read it, and hopefully by the end of this week I'll be like in such a thriller mood and preparing for like Halloween, and I'm so excited for this. So that is the 5th book. I read The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden, and I gave it 4 stars. I read both of them back to back because I wanted to, and I wanted to see where the story was going. I thought it would be a continuation, but it's a whole different, separate story, but still with the main character, Millie. So this one kind of is very similar to the first. It just has a different like plot twist, but essentially it's like the same thing. I didn't hate this one as much as the first one. I mean, the characters. I didn't hate the characters as much. I did in the end. At the end, I was like, yes, I hate you very much. So that I didn't expect anything to happen like what happened. I really was like caught off guard. Like, I didn't really guess it. I mean, if you read the first, some people have guessed what would happen in the second, but I honestly didn't. So like while I was writing my notes in my reading journal, I didn't really like catch on to how it was actually the character who did it, which I'm not going to say what happened or anything like that. I'm trying to make this as spoiler free as possible. So it was really good. I was really entertained by it. I kind of liked the first one better. I feel like a lot of people were saying that they liked the second one better. I liked the first one better because it was like the first time I was reading it and like everything in that universe. So the second one, I'm like, it's kind of similar to the first. So maybe it was my fault that I read them back to back, but I enjoyed reading them back to back. So give it a 4 stars. Really entertaining. And yeah, I have to read more by Frida McFadden. I know she has so many thrillers that have all kinds of fun plot twists. So definitely going to put her on my radar and like pick up more of her back catalog. And then we have a honorable mention, I guess. If I finish all of these and I have enough time, we're gonna read the Mind F series by St. Abbey. So I'll read the back of the book on that. I'll just pull it up on my Goodreads, and like I think it's the book series is 5 books. On Kindle Unlimited it is like 5 books, or like if you buy it you can get all like 5 books in one physical book, but we're just gonna read it on my Kindle. So let me pull that up. Okay, found it here on my iPad. So this is the entire series put into one book. So I'm reading the synopsis for the actual like compiled book. They took too much, left too little. I had nothing to lose until him. I didn't expect him. I didn't want to fall in love. But I can't let him go. Logan Bennett makes the world a safer place. He's brilliant, he's a hero, he locks away the sick and depraved, but while he's saving lives, I'm taking them, collecting the debts that are owed to me. 10 years ago, they took from me. They left me for dead. They should have made sure I stayed dead. Now I'm taking from them, one name at a time. I've trained far too long. I've been patient. I can't stop now. Revenge is best served cold. They never see me coming until I paint their walls red. Logan doesn't know how they hurt me. He doesn't know about the screams they ignored. He doesn't know how twisted this town really is. He just knows people are dying. He doesn't know he's in love with their killer. No one suspects a dead girl, and Logan doesn't suspect the girl in his bed. They're looking for a monster, not a girl who loves red. Not a girl in love. I'm a faceless nightmare. At least until I tell them the story they pretended never happened. But in the end, will Logan choose them, or will we watch them burn together? And then it has all like the trigger warnings and stuff, but this seems really dark and twisted, and I'm excited for this as well. Hopefully I can get to it, maybe even read 1 or 2 books in like this reading vlog, but I really want to read all of them if I'm going to do the whole entire series. We'll just have to see. You're going to find out with me, because as I'm filming this, this is the beginning. I didn't chop it up where I filmed the intro in the middle. I'm actually starting from the beginning for once. So those are my thriller week TBRs that I want to get through. So I hope you follow along this journey. It's going to be a fun, twisted ride. So I can't wait. read the 5 books in the Mind F series and I gave it overall a 5 stars. This last series was a wild card. I didn't think I would put it on, but after finishing The Housemaid Secret, I decided I still have time. I have the weekend. Let me just binge all the books. People say that they can do it in a weekend. So that was my goal, and that is why you see just me showing the Kindle, because I didn't get my reaction. I just sat in the dark here in my living room all weekend reading this series. It played out like a movie. I love this series so much. It is going to live rent-free in my mind. Lana, Logan, the whole entire plot point. I'm like, this is amazing. I love TV shows like that. Dexter, Criminal Minds. I'm all about that genre. So reading this book was so amazing. Everything about Lana, how badass she is. I just loved it, how sweet Logan was, and then everything finding out. So she's a serial killer, he's an FBI agent. I didn't see where it was going. I'm not sure if this qualifies as a thriller. It was thrilling. I'm counting it anyways because this series was just amazing. I read all 5 books. I gave the first 4 books 4 stars. I should have bumped it up to 5. The first book definitely is a 5-star. And then, yeah, I just read it a whole entire book. I think it's almost either 500 or 600 pages, and I sped through. I just read them back to back. Every book ended on a plot twist. I am tempted to get a physical copy because I loved the book so much. You do not understand. I wrote so many notes about it. I took notes though on the whole as a series, not just per book. So I'm counting it as one whole book. So technically I read all 5 books of it, but I'm counting it as one book. That's what I'm doing. But everything about the story, everything about that book, just, I loved it. I couldn't wait to give my thoughts out, tell you all about it. I could not record my reaction because I was just too busy. I think I missed a few clips, but I was just speeding through the books and I really enjoyed it. And definitely a 5-star book series, amazing, so much fun. I'm glad that I read it last on my list, and it just lives rent-free now. I love the book so much. Highly recommend it. Out of all these books that I read this week, the last one really got to me and I loved it so much. So those are all 5 books that I read. Let me just round you up and finish off this reading vlog. I moved back into the bedroom where I first started this reading vlog, but it's a lot later, so the sun is no longer out. It's sunset, but I think that's still bright enough. I have my fall lights and it's just cozy and fall. This is the perfect vibe for ending my thriller week reading vlog. So I have all the books here. They're upside down. I always hold things upside down. Here they are. I finished everything on my TBR, which is great. I've been doing a good job at that. So I didn't think I was gonna get to the Mind F series. Honestly, I was like, I'm not gonna make it, but I did. I read technically 10 books in this reading vlog, if you really count it. So I had the 3 physical books, the 2 Housemaid series thing, and then 5 of the Mind F series books, but I'm counting it as one book. But I loved it so much. I loved these books. They were a great reading week. It was so much fun. I just filmed whatever I could this week. I really didn't film my reactions like I did with my fantasy week vlog. I was filming my reactions more, but this one I was just so into the books that I honestly forgot I was filming half the time, and I had to go back into one of the things and show me flipping through the book. So yeah, honestly, love this reading week. It was so fun getting to read thrillers. Definitely going to read more of them now and expand my reading taste, because reading thrillers has been fun. I do hope you enjoyed watching me read all these thrillers this week. I will link everything that I mentioned down below in the description, as well as my Bookstagram and my book talk. Also, leave more thriller book recommendations down below in the comments. I'd love to read more. These are just the ones that I picked out this week, but I know there's so many more out there. And I hope I explained everything enough, gave my reactions, my ratings. Hope this is jam-packed full of fun information for you. I'm gonna go now because the lighting is getting really bad, but I do hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye everyone!